Hi everybody, my name is Javier Perengues. I belong to the academic course of Design Materials for Virtual Environments, and this is the final exam by POA, and I'm going to talk to you according to the guidelines with the topic I selected about the present perfect tense. So let's go and let's see what happens. Well, the present perfect tense is a kind of complicated topic because much more of the time people do not understand what it means even in Spanish. So the first and most important thing is that we have to comprehend, or we have to understand why you can use it in Spanish, right? If you do that, so you can apply it easily in English. Okay, so here we have a little description about what is the present perfect tense. It is a verbal time which is used to refer actions that happened in a short or long past, and they have some connection with the present. So for example, we are here in the present, and those actions happened before, but in one way those actions have any connection from the past to the present. Okay, to to compose the present perfect tense, there are necessary two elements: the appropriate form of the auxiliary verb to have, which is the auxiliary, I think, yeah, plus the past participle of the main verb. Yeah, so we have to take clear these two components, and we are going to look at those components in the next slide. Okay, so let's go. What do we need to produce it? It is very important to know some elements such as the pronouns, as we know, where there are some pronouns such as I, you, we, they, she, it. We have to know also the correct conjugation of the verb have and has, you know, and we have to know, or we have to have a previous knowledge about the past participle of the verbs, you know. If we can handle these three components, so we can use the present perfect tense correctly. Okay, so in the next slide, what do we need to produce it? I'm going to explain you how to use the correct conjugation with the pronouns. These are the pronouns, and the have and has. Okay, the has is used to the third person, the plural of the third person. She, he, it. It's always going to be with those persons. If you do the conjugation, for example, with you and with has, it's wrong. Okay, so you always have to do it like this one, in this scheme that it is here. Okay, and the other thing is that the past participle of the verb, we have to take into account that there are two kind of past. Okay, the regular and the irregular. The regular is the easier because those are some verbs which ended or which ends by adding the letter D or ED at the end of the word. So, for example, the present of work, it would be worked, or arrive, arrived, or paint, painted. Okay, and the irregular, well, the same word says all. Some those verbs which the past participle may change severally, or in some examples they stay like that. Well, for example, cantar, it would be sing in the present, the conjugation in present, sang in past, and sung in past participle. Zero estar, it would be the past would be was, were, and the past participle been. And for example, cortar, it would be cut, cut, cut. Yeah. So it's the same for the three tenses. The next slide is about the how to produce sentences. We can find three kind of sentences. The affirmative ones, we can compose them by subject, that we see it in the before slide, and according to the subject, we can use the correct verb conjugation of have or has, and the verb participle and some complement. We can use, for example, the present perfect tense to give some experience. You know, it's like saying I have the experience of, or you can also use this tense to say that you have never had a certain experience. But it's not used to describe a specific event. Okay. For example, in here we have the sentence, you have worked in the stadium from 1996. Okay. So always we are going to have this structure, this grammatical structure. It has the subject or the pronoun, the correct conjugation of have, has. In this case, it would be have. The verb in past participle, which is this work, and the complement, that it would be this one, in the stadium from 1996. Okay. In the PPP triangle, triangle, we can implement the practice part by producing some sentences after we have presented the material, you know. So we can implement the production of affirmative, negative, or interrogative sentences. But first, giving the correct explanation about how does it work, or how can we use it. Okay, the correct grammar structure. Sometimes it's kind of boring, you know, because you always are going to have these same structures, but they always are going to be the same. Okay, they always are going to work in the same way. It's only that we have to learn new vocabulary and replace, because is that the thing that we do when we speak or write, replace these complements. So in the negative ones, we use the subject, in this case the negation of the conjugation of the verb have, has, which would be has not. This always is going to be always has not, and this would be hasn't. Sometimes people get scared because they look at this little apostrophe here, but it's the same when you have here hasn't to has not, or in the have not with haven't. Okay, and we put the verb in past participle and the complement. So a simple example, she has not, or she hasn't spoken about it since the last interview. Okay, one more time. She has not spoken about it since the last interview. Remember that always this structure is going to be the same. Always. If you follow this structure, so you are going to create properly sentences. The only thing is that we have to acquire a new vocabulary to to comprehend how does it work. Okay. The another one is the interrogative ones. Okay, the interrogative sentences. In this case, we have that the structure changed a little bit, because the conjugation of the verb have, has, it is before of the subject. Okay, so you always put the conjugation of the verb according to the subject, and then you put the verb in past participle and the complement. And this is very important to put the question sign. Okay, so as example will be, has the army attacked the city twice? So it's correct. Okay. In the practice, we can in the classroom we can use these three structures to make some activities based maybe on a video or on or some conversations, and then students can practice by creating their own sentences or based on their own experience, maybe, And the next slide is about producing sentences with WH questions. Okay, sometimes people get a little bit complicated with this one, but it's the same. Okay, it's only that we put another word before the conjugation of the verb, and we have to know, of course, what is the WH question. So the WH questions are those words here: who, whom, when, where, why, which, whose, what, how. And we use it to get more specific information about what we do, about what we want to know. Okay, but it's always going to be the same structure, the grammatical structure. We put first the WH question, and then the conjugation of the verb have, has, according to the subject. Yeah, okay. The verb in past participle and the complement, and of course the sign of question. Okay. And for example, where, this is a WH question. Oh my God, I had a mistake here. I'm so sorry. I'm going to fix it up. Okay, yeah, that's okay. Okay, where have they been all this time? I'm so sorry. So we have here the WH question, the correct conjugation about the verb have, has, the subject, and the past participle of the verb, and a complement, a little one. Okay, and the answer give us a more specific answer about the thing that we want to know. Okay, they have been in Norway. Okay, yeah. So the productive, the practice activities in classroom may be based on these three elements of the present perfect tense. They may be based on the experience of the students, about change over time, because we used also the present perfect tense. We often use the present perfect to talk about change that has happened over a period of time, or about accomplishment. When we often use the present perfect to list the accomplishment of individuals and humanity, or an uncompleted action you are expecting. It is very important. It's very important to put in practice the present perfect tense. And in the last part of the production, the stage of production of the class, we can put to the students to create, free practice about conversation they can create by